Pearl of the Orient is the third of the Wargame Red Dragon campaigns, and it is rated as hard difficulty. But is it worth playing? Alright everybody, welcome to Rage with Travis. I am Travis. The Pearl of the Orient single-player experience puts you in the shoes of a commander in the Commonwealth coalition, fighting to defend Hong Kong against a Chinese attack. But like any campaign, it has its good points and its bad points. So let's go through the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Pearl of the Orient campaign and see if it's worth your time. Starting off with the good. The first thing is you get diverse playable nations. One of the cool things about the Pearl of the Orient campaign is the variety of nations you get to play as. With Busan Pocket, you were stuck playing as either the South Koreans or the Americans, and Bear vs. Dragon, all you got to do was play as the Chinese. However, in this campaign, you get to play as the nations in the Commonwealth coalition. So you get to see what the British, Canadians, and the ANZACs have to offer. Obviously, you're limited to the battle groups that are available to you, but it's a good mix-up from previous campaigns. Another thing I absolutely love is the complexity of the campaign map itself. Pearl of the Orient campaign offers a lot of room for strategy. In the Busan Pocket campaign, all you had to do was defend the Busan Pocket, which consisted of 4 territories, and then you had to move from west to east from Seoul across the rest of the Korean peninsula with the United States forces. Not a lot of operational flexibility involved there. Pearl of the Orient is the complete opposite, with 3 secondary objectives plus the unstated objective of capturing all Chinese territory. This campaign map gives you the opportunity to really think about how you're going to achieve those objectives with the forces that you have. The third thing I like about this campaign is the creative enemy at the operational level. While there are plenty of valid complaints about the enemy AI's behavior at the tactical level, including the plane trains, the blob swarms, etc., I found the enemy's actions at the operational level to be creative and difficult to deal with. In the Pearl of the Orient campaign, the enemy attacks through multiple fronts. There's the main group doing a 2-pronged attack south toward Hong Kong. Then there are the groups attacking the 2 secondary objectives to the west and east. To do this, the enemy uses both helicopter-borne troops and amphibious assault troops to attack these objectives. This double pincer attack forces you to think about how you are allocating your forces so as to not lose those secondary objectives. The challenge level here is definitely something I can get behind, especially when they push you to engage your thinking muscles and figure out how to use your battle groups more effectively. Now, before we move from the pros to the cons, I have a question for you. Have all of your favorite YouTubers turned out to be sex criminals and freaks? Are you looking for somebody new to watch? Well, why not subscribe to my channel? I'm trying to reach 500 subs by the end of the year, so help me out and subscribe. Alright, now on to the bad. One of the biggest drawbacks, just like in the previous 2 campaigns I've played, is the repetitiveness of some of the battles. A lot of the battles occur in the same sectors and with the same enemy battle groups. Let's just take a look at how many different times I fought in the Northern Territories sector. It can start to feel a bit grindy, especially if you're not a fan of repeating the same type of engagement multiple times just to grind down the enemy. The lack of variety in certain battles can really drag down the pacing. That being said, the whole point of the campaign is that you're on the defensive. So it does make sense that you have to defend the same locations over and over again, but that doesn't mean it's not tedious. The second thing is the lack of bonuses for invading China. Now, it turns out that there actually is a bonus for taking all the Chinese territory on the campaign map. That's the only way to get a total victory. However, that is not really apparent at all, and it kind of seems like a hidden ending. You do get additional points towards buying new battle groups for occupying Chinese territory, which may be Eugen's way of encouraging you to pursue that total victory, but I would have liked to see the enemy respond to my taking Chinese territory. For instance, it would have been nice if the enemy forces on Lantau Island at the end of the game repositioned to deal with the threat of Margaret Thatcher's proudest soldiers invading mainland China. I feel like if there was some kind of bonus or major shift in the dynamic for taking China, it'd give players an extra reason to go for it. But as it stands, it's a bit of a letdown. And now for the ugly. I'm taking a point off this review for the time when the enemy used a helicopter battle group that had no weapons on it at all to take a critical sector. Because they did that, 2 of my airplane battle groups were destroyed, and I really needed those for the campaign. And of course, I have the same criticisms of the enemy cheese tactics that many of you left in the comments of these videos. At the tactical level, the enemy just uses blobs of enemy, and they gun straight for your command vehicles, whether they are hidden or not. To a certain extent, I can use that to my advantage because I know how the enemy AI works. But if you're looking for a realistic battle simulation or a realistic war game, it's no good. I don't like that. So to wrap it all up, Pearl of the Orient offers a lot of strengths, especially in terms of tactical depth, variety of nations, and a creative overall enemy strategy. But it also comes with a few frustrations, like repetitive battles, cheesy AI tactics, and a lack of rewards for certain objectives. Ultimately, it's a campaign that can be a lot of fun, but can also be a bit of a slog at times. For being rated as hard difficulty, this is a pretty good campaign, so I give it a 4 out of 5 in my rating system that doesn't mean anything. Alright, that's it for today. What do you think about the Pearl of the Orient campaign? Do you agree with my pros and cons? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Wargame content. See you next time.